There is anticipation, there's tremendous excitement. You've seen what Indian Americans are talking about. You've heard the Americans, they're equally excited about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit because this is a relationship where there's give and take and both sides hope to benefit. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has often said that when the two most powerful democracies stand together, India and the United States of America, when they work together, it's not just to benefit each other, but for humankind to benefit. That's their effort. But there are two countries that are very upset. Yes, no points for guessing. Pakistan on one side and China on the other. In fact, we'll tell you more about ISI's mega plan to disrupt Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the United States of America, and that's been exposed. Sources in the government have told India Today, Pakistan's ISI, that notorious spy agency, that country that's virtually bankrupt, that's gone to the IMF on a bent knee 23 times, not succeeded this time, is hoping to go once again. That country is funding Khalistani terrorists. They don't have enough for 2 square meals a day, but they're funding Khalistani elements in the United States of America and Canada. Why? Because moments where India would be embarrassed, where Prime Minister... So ISI had this hate India, absolute lies. They will put out some of their stuff in the United States of America, in Pakistan, sadly some even in India, who will actually amplify propaganda, ISI propaganda. Again, half-truths, petty gains. And this conspiracy has been exposed. So funded, according to sources, by elements in China. Why would China fund this? Because China is also extremely uncomfortable about India's rise on the world stage. Remember, China uses things like its Belt and Road Initiative, debt trap diplomacy, its wolf warriors. India, on the other hand, moves forward on the principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or the world is one family. India moves forward, taking the entire world along. China wants to move forward, road rolling, bulldozing anything that stands in the way. Several countries have suffered, including Sri Lanka and others. But clearly, China, through Pakistan through these Khalistani and radical Islamist elements, wants to destabilize India. Clearly, they will not succeed. I want to cut across to India Today's Abhishek Bhalla, joining us from our newsroom for more on the story. Abhishek, what more can you tell us about this ISI plot? A country, Pakistan, a country that doesn't have enough money for 2 square meals a day. They're on the verge of default, and they're funding Khalistani elements, it seems.
Well, Gaurav, these are the old games that Pakistan has been playing, and once again we see how it's trying to pump up the Khalistani elements across the world against India. And as you mentioned rightly, that this cozy relationship between China and Pakistan is something that has been called out by the world now. And it's something that the US has been following very closely as well. And that's something that's riled up China time and again, because the kind of relations that India has with the US, particularly when it comes to strategic cooperation, defense cooperation, it's reaching new levels. Even during this current visit of the Prime Minister, there are 2 big-ticket deals that are likely to go through. One is for Predator drones, which are weaponized drones that India will have for the first time. And the other, of course, is the fighter jet engine deal, which will ensure that fighter jet engines can be manufactured in India. And that obviously is going to be a big breakthrough when it comes to self-reliance and Atmanirbharta, especially in the defense sector.
Oh, absolutely. And that takes the India-US relationship to a different level. That's why expansionist forces like China feel checkmated. Abhishek, keep tracking that story. I will come to you for more. For the moment, Abhishek Bhalla, many thanks. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be meeting a number of people, both in New York and in Washington, D.C. In fact, when he lands there ahead of the International Yoga Day celebrations at the United Nations headquarters. Remember, that's also a big event, and during the course of this broadcast and next several days, we'll talk about that in greater detail. The Prime Minister is meeting 24 individuals. There are Nobel laureates, there are other celebrities. Amongst them is one of the world's prime disruptors, Elon Musk. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is having a one-on-one. Why is this very interesting? Because there's growing chatter, possibly Tesla automobiles will be manufactured in India.
It was more than a year ago that Tesla first tried to make inroads into India. A red electric Tesla was even driven to the Road Transport and Highways Ministry to be tried by ministry officials in hope of a red carpet welcome by India. Talks, however, broke down over what Tesla was demanding and what the government was willing to offer. Then around 4 weeks ago, Elon Musk again raised hopes that Tesla could still be headed to India. In an interview, the billionaire announced that Tesla would decide the location of its next gigafactory by the end of this year. Asked whether India was a possibility, Musk replied, "Absolutely." The statement attracted attention, especially as it came just a week after a fresh round of talks between top Tesla officials and officials from various ministries. The company reportedly softened its stance considerably and has proposed setting up a factory in India to build electric cars for domestic sale and export. Additionally, the company is reportedly also looking at manufacturing EV batteries in India. For Elon Musk, India has proved a tough nut to crack. Not only was Tesla not allowed to drive into India, his Starlink internet services has been barred from offering web connectivity in the country. Starlink has thousands of low-level satellites providing internet across the world at speeds ranging between 50 and 150 Mbps. The government, however, shut it down in India last year, refusing to give it a license to offer services. This came even as Airtel and Reliance Jio rolled out their own satellite-based internet services. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be meeting several thought leaders in New York after reaching the city Tuesday morning. These include American billionaire investor and hedge fund manager Ray Dalio, who has been particularly bullish on India, Paul Romer, the senior vice president of the World Bank, and Nicholas Nassim Taleb, known author and former opinions trader and risk analyst. But all eyes will be on the meeting between Modi and Elon Musk, who has just visited China and now has to decide whether he wants a pie of the Indian market or not. Bureau Report, Business Today TV.